talk about the sports parity between Canada and America, just for a quick second. So in America, we all know the NFL is the most dominant league by bar none.
Yep.
But everything else below it afterwards, there seems to be like an even amount of distribution as far as like media attention, what have you. So they'll give baseball their attention, NBA their attention, so on and so forth. In Canada, I just personally feel like when it comes to hockey, it's first and foremost, they get like 78% of the coverage probably, and then everyone else kind of has like the scraps basically at that point. So and I'm not saying basketball will ever reach that point, but will it at least ever get to a point where it may be like the second most popular sport in terms of media coverage?
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think obviously I'm older than you, but I mean when I grew up, it was hockey. Like I played street hockey. I played hockey as a kid, but you gotta look. You're half Ghanaian, half Nigerian, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Canadians coming in didn't come from Canada, right? So like you have generations of people coming from different countries, with Eastern Europe, Africa, West Indies, who didn't grow up in hockey. So hockey doesn't mean as much to them as like the people who've lived here for their lives.
Yeah, generations by generations.
Exactly. So it's changing. That's evolving, and you're seeing that in the talent that's coming here. That's why you have kids growing up, like the Andrew Wiggins of the world and all these guys, because they weren't raised on hockey, right? I was raised on hockey and basketball, so it's like there was nowhere to develop that game. So with that being said, you're getting generations who are more concerned with other sports and not just hockey.
Yeah.
Hockey is still going to probably always be number one.
Of course.
But I think that, it's changing. I mean, the fact that, when I first got in this industry like 8 years ago, there was no hangout. There was no one-on-one. There wasn't any outlets. So it's already been changing in this for a span of time. So it's continuing to grow and evolve with more opportunities. Maybe we'll find you somewhere soon.
I hope so, man.
I think that it is changing. And I think also the players and the athletes are driving that.
Exactly.
And the Raptors ain't hurting either.
They're not hurting. They're definitely not hurting. I remember growing up, like before the Raptors became popular. Like I remember, obviously, big Michael Jordan fan for obvious reasons, and then Penny Hardaway was like my next favorite, just because I thought he had a pretty cool mainstream appeal in my sense. And he could ball like Jordan. Like back when I was growing up, that's how I viewed him. Grant Hill's another person I looked up to as well. And then for me, when Vince Carter got drafted and just became the human highlight reel, I thought to myself this is the genesis. You know what I mean? Like I thought he was the atom bomb that created the mutant, so to speak, and then now you got Wiggins coming up and Jamal Murray and all these guys.
Thompson, Torres, all those guys grew up on Vince.
Exactly.
Even Kevin Durant said that. So it's so for a country, it's you're sitting here wait, I can be this guy. I can it's tangible. It's in my city. I can do that. And that was a big tipping point, I think, for basketball. Because no disrespect to Steve Nash, because he's a two-time MVP.
Of course.
His thing. But I think that he was kind of it was him, and there wasn't really much after that.
Yeah.
Vince Carter was all-star, mainstream megastar, highlight film, good player, everything, and it just and also they could relate to him, and that, I think you're right, that was the atom bomb that started the whole thing.
Exactly. And I just, as a kid, 11, 12 years old, I lost my mind when I heard for a Raptors game for the first time ever. Of course. I was I've been waiting for this moment my entire life. It's, oh my God.
Hey, people are still waiting for that recognition. A lot of people were mad the Raptors were playing on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Trust me, I was one of them. I was one. I get it. New York plays, but that's New York. They're playing Madison Square Garden, of course. I know. The one I was pissed off about was Minnesota. Why are you showing Minnesota on a Christmas game?
I hear you, but you got Cat, Carson Towns, Zach LaVine, Andrew Wiggins. And don't forget though, at the beginning of the season on, everyone thought that team was going to be a lot better than they are right now. Everyone thought they put together, they got new coach, Top Thibodeau, they'll be good, Ricky Rubio is stable there.
They were jumping the gun with that, though. I get it. You have a young nucleus. People thought they would be the next OKC in a sense. Right, exactly. But, those things take time, though, man. Maybe next year could be a different story, but,
maybe next year the Raptors, if they have another good playoff run, you got to look at them on Christmas Day. They're, one of the top 5 teams in the league.
Have to. I thought for sure they'd be in luck. They're one of the Final Four teams last year.
Yeah, but I think people want to see if they can do it again. And that's the big test. And if they do, then you got to give it to them. You can't deny that.
Yeah, it's that American bias, I tell you. Jeez. That privilege, I tell you. That privilege. Oh, man.